Yeah, well, hello there, folks. Welcome back to my channel. You know how it goes. Hope each and every one of you are truly well and blessed by our Lord and Savior. Yeah, check it. Got a new bakkie. Or a new second-hand bakkie to load the bikes on. Yeah, you're not here for the bakkie, eh? So yeah, you see it's a lovely blue sky. Looks like a nice sunny day here in South Africa, but believe me, you see there's no more leaves on the trees. It's cold. You see there's a light breeze. It's really cold. But yeah, you're not here for that. You're here for the Turbo Busa video. So yeah, we're continuing on, and yeah, we run into a lot of issues. So yeah, hopefully we get this started, or yeah, something in that line. You saw there's no oil pressure, so yeah, we'll be trying to figure that out. But yeah, if you're here while this thing is premiering on the premiere time, go check it. There's live chat. If you're on a TV, you won't be able to see it. Some TVs do, some TVs don't. But if you're on your phone, where you write or where you see the comments, just next to it, there's like a double bubble one. That's the live chat. And I will be there this week. So yeah, come drop in, say hi. How you doing, or something like that. So yeah, okay, enough of me talking. Let's get to the movie. All right. Okay, folks, you know how it goes. Quick shout out to all the members and supporters of the channel and sponsors of the channel. And you see these on the side. So the members got access to some merch at the moment. And these are some guys that bought some merch. One is the Humble, and the other one is Mr. Where is he now? Agent Jixer 45. So yeah, they bought some merch. There's also more people, or more of the members buying merch. I will show them in the next video. But yeah, thank all of you a hell of a lot. And yeah, let's get to the movie. Yeah, okay, folks. So yeah, it's time to continue and get this bike started. But just a quick little heads up or recap, or I don't know what you'll call it. Since you've seen the last video, well, we've been without power for 4 days, where I couldn't do anything because my garage is pretty dark. We've been having more rain than we've had the last, I don't know how many years. So yeah, I've been hindered quite a bit. So most of the things I'll show you after it's done. I'm not going to show you how I put all the bling bling kits on and the ram airs, how I modify them and stuff like that. What I will show you is I will show you the modification in the tank, on the fuel pump. I won't show you the cleaning of the filter and the changing or putting the new pump in, but I will show you everything in that area that needs to happen there. So yeah, this is where we left it off last time. And yeah, I'll show you when I've done something else. But from now, we'll move on to the tank, get that pump out and all that stuff. All right. So yeah, that's the start. Let's get going. Yeah, okay, folks. So the pump is out. Quickly gonna make space by the table and show you how we fit the return and what modifications we'll be making to it. Make sure it works like a bomb. All right. Just hold on. Yeah, the pump assembly. You see the fuel level gauge already taken off. All the screws, fuel pumps disconnected. So if we check it like this, we're gonna have to run a return line because we're gonna be bypassing this, and I'll show you how we'll do that also. The only place, or let's start with the problems. I see this tank was painted. So there's gonna be paint in the bottom. We're gonna have to clean this filter out great because there's loose pieces of paint in the tank, which is gonna make life a bit difficult, but don't worry about that. We need to run a return line, and if you remember, there's an O-ring lying here, so we can't make a hole here for a return line. If I turn the pump like this, don't worry about the wire. You check this line is where that seal is, and where the seal is, there's also a lip on the inside, so it gets very close to here. So we can't run the return line there. There's not enough space. Not there. So yeah, if you check it like that, the only place we can put the return line in is in this place. The problem with this place is, if you check the bottom, that's where the earth goes on. And don't worry, we will remove that earth and relocate it to somewhere else on this assembly. But yeah, we're going to use that spot for the return line. So yeah, let me quickly take this filter housing and stuff out and see all the surprises that there is in the bottom of this. Alright, everything is stripped down. If you haven't seen me clean one of these filters before, now I'll just go back to my videos. There's one on the pink and white Busa, and I think one on the golden Busa, where I show step by step how to clean them. I did put a little bit of this Wins throttle body cleaner into it on the wrong side. You see how brown it is there. I just wanted to show you it is nice and clean in there. If I can get some of that out. So the way I do it is I reverse it. But yeah, that's just a little splash. What's on that inside. Yeah, this filter is filthy. So yeah, just check there. That's just with one little shake. So yeah, now I even got an ultrasonic cleaner to clean them even better. But yeah, that's not what this is about. As I say, if you want to see how I clean those filters, check in the videos. Not now. After you like this video and you check the whole video, so you make the algorithm happy and all that lekker groceries, then you can go and check that other video. But yeah, okay, look there in the bottom, it's also a bit filthy. The pump didn't look too bad, but we will be replacing that also. So yeah, if you check now, you can see this dove spot, or spot that's not as nice as the rest. Is the only space available to put that return, and as I said, that's the feed line. Can't do anything there. We'll put the return line here, and we'll move this earth to another spot. We'll weld a little nut or something there or somewhere. Alright, so I'll show you how I do that, and then the next step would be this regulator is not going to work anymore. I'll show you how we remove it and put something else in its place after this filter has been cleaned and all that groceries. So the only thing you'll see is the replacement, and yeah, I'll make the hole and tap it and everything, and I'll show you the return line. Let's go. Alright, so yesterday, unfortunately, it started raining here so hard I couldn't make a video. So yeah, we are now on the next day, and what is this I'm holding? Okay, still got a little burr on it, but I'll take that off. Okay, let's get back here to the table. Return line installed. But it's skew. I installed it not accidentally. I installed it skew because when I made the hole, I made it from this side, and I made it too close to this piece. So when I tapped it skew, and okay, that's just Loctite which I put on it, but yeah, that's in right and tight. So the return line is in place. We just need to get a place for our little earthy, but we'll sort that out. So that's the one thing that happened. Then another thing, as I told you, so this is the original fuel pressure regulator. It goes in there. Once the fuel pressure gets to 3 bar, it dumps it out here at the bottom. So yeah, we're not going to be running that anymore because we're running an aftermarket fuel pressure regulator, and that's where this little lovely bugger comes in. So I'm not going to put the seal on it now because I'm going to clean this filter. I'll not show you that, but so what happens is the seal goes on there and I sand it. If you check, there's a little flat spot there. Sanded it. Goes in perfectly. The little cover, you can still put it on, and there you can see clears everything, works like a bomb. So there will be no more returning from this side. The returning will be coming from there. So yeah, I hope you understand what I'm doing at the moment. We're blocking off the internal regulator, not working anymore. The regulator is outside the tank now, and it will be returning here instead of down here. So yeah, I'll clean this filter, put the new fuel pump and everything on the inside. I'll reassemble this and I'll show you when it's done, and then we can just put it back in the tank. Okay, I said all I had to say. Now let me get back to some work. Okay, I know I said I wasn't going to show you this, but I want to show you this. So as I said, I already have videos on how I clean the fuel filter and everything. This is just normal water, nothing special on it. Only thing about it now is there's a little bit of fuel that was in the filter and stuff, and I really want you to see. Okay, just hold on. Okay, I just brought the light closer. So the water is already dirty and the ultrasonic has just been turned on. As you see, it's not even heated up yet. So what I normally do is I do it with furnace and all that stuff. This is just water. So I just want you to see the difference. So I'm just going to push this syringe back into it and show you what comes out over there while the ultrasonic is busy. So remember now, it's vibrating on the inside at a hell of a frequency. Hopefully you can't hear it over the mic because it buggers up the mic also. Sorry, there was a phone call. Okay, so just running normal water. There's a bit of fuel in it, but that's fine. So yeah, just check it there, as I say. So yeah, that's all the gunk coming out. So yeah, that was now clean water. You can check the water is already filthy. But I'll leave it like that. What I'll now do is I'll add some furnace in here and press that through it. I won't suck up through it again because you don't want dirty water coming up in here. That's why I keep it on the filter on this side. But I just wanted to show you, this is not the new way, but while it's in the ultrasonic, what it does. Yeah, it's actually very nice. Okay, let me just stop it there and clean it. Okay, last time I promise. So you will see now it's bleeding out there. I did add turners to it now, and you can see the water is filthy, and you see there where it's bleeding out. So I will push it now. So it's just a little bit of furnace going through the filter. Look at that. And I just pressed it a little bit, so yeah, just keep watching. So there's a furnace inside the filter at the moment. So the ultrasonic is like bleeding it out from the inside. So let me just put that last bit of furnace through it, and then I'll add some more. But as I say, this is the last time I'll show you, I promise. So yeah, watch it. One nice little push. So yeah, you do that a couple of times till it's nice and clean. And yeah, so that's why the water is becoming white. There is now furnace inside the water, but I pushed the last bit of furnace in. I'll remove the syringe just now, add another furnace, and yeah, when I'm done, this water will be black. Okay, so yeah, I just Really wanted to show you that, sorry, ne? Da 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 dum. Aha, okay. So yeah, there she is. New pump. Again, we use this Bosch pump. I had to put new wires on because I couldn't use these ones. But yeah, there she is. There you can check that replacement part of mine. And if I turn it, I had to put new locks on. That's fine. There's our return line, return at the bottom, and there's the earth one. Nice and connected. Yeah, let's go put it back in the bike and see if we can get her started, or see what else we need to get her started. Or yeah, less worrying and more getting her started. Okay, let's go. Yes, so okay folks, I think I skipped a couple of steps since the video or whatever you just saw now. So just catch you all up. Pump is in. It's got a return line hose already on. You see I've got the hose already routed. I put a 90 fitting on the fuel pressure regulator. Well, the tank's installed already. Exhaust is already off. You didn't even see that. I'll quickly finish with the tank and then I'll show you the exhaust stuff. So yeah, we just quickly fitting all the lines, making sure everything is happy and in place, and yeah, then we can get going with that exhaust so we can get this started. So yeah, just quickly gonna fit a couple of clamps. As I say, all the fuel lines are made. Just need to connect everything and make sure everything clears everything. Yeah, so at least it doesn't look like the filter is gonna clear the pump, but the pump lives over here. The only issue was this return line, but once I loop it around, there's no issue. So yeah, just wanted to show you that, and yeah, we can continue on now. Yeah, so I would say everything is connected. So let's prime this fuel system and see if there's any leaks. You check down there. Okay, there's still a couple of drops, but there was leaks already. And I already fixed it. But yeah, so let's quickly set this fuel pressure. I don't know if you can see the gauge back there. I almost can't see it. Okay, maybe if I put you a bit closer. So the way this regulator works is there's a nut on top that you either turn in or out. So yeah, let's check what the fuel pressure is at the moment. You see it's about, went up to 4, I don't know why. And I see I've got a leak still there at the top one, so I'll fix that. But just make sure. It's about 3 bar. I'll increase it a bit. We're gonna make it 4 bar to start with, and yeah, then also we will set the power commander. Just show you it's on. See, it's working. So yeah, we'll set the base map. Yeah, we've got fuel pressure. I don't know, didn't try swinging it. Don't want to start it because we've got no exhaust on at the moment. I'll show you down there. You see. So yeah, we'll quickly do the exhaust. And once the exhaust is on, yeah, we still need to add water and antifreeze and stuff. But yeah, then we can start there, or hopefully start there. Let's just see. All right, hold on. Yeah, so I wanted to show you, I cut the exhaust, I grinded the exhaust, I polished the exhaust, and then I painted the exhaust. So yeah, don't have to see all that steps, you can just check the end results. Came out good. This one I will also heat wrap once it's on the bike. There's the other one. This one slash cut didn't came out askew because it wasn't on a bend. This one was like this, so it's gonna look great. I'll just face these ones off, this one and those two, and we are ready to reinstall the exhaust. Aha, closer to starting. Just to show you, it's hot, it's burning me. I did face it, and you can see here on the side and there it warped a bit, but that's why you face it to make it level again, and it is nice and clean at the bottom. Quickly gonna add some fire gum to it, and yeah, then we can put the exhaust on, put the wastegate pipe on, and one more step closer. Okay, so I'll show you when the exhaust is on the bike. Okay, well, will you look at that? The exhaust is on, all with nice new bolts and everything is clearing and happy, and even the slash cut came out beautifully. Let me just get up from my back. So yeah, now for the next step, before we can start, put in a new oil filter, and I see the oil pressure sensor has no wire on it, so we'll reconnect the wire to it, put oil in, put water in, and I think then we should be ready to primer and get her started. So yeah, let me quickly change those things, couple of things, and hold thumbs, we can get this bike started today. Okay, coolant, check. Waiting for it to drop a bit. New oil filter. Well, okay, we're gonna put it on just now. See, I use Suzuki oil filters. Doesn't matter, I use Champion, whatever I can get. But in this case, I've got the Suzuki one, so we'll install the Suzuki one if I can get it open someday. Okay. Then coolant looks fine. Just gonna add oil, and then we'll first let her get oil pressure. Hopefully she gets oil pressure, otherwise I'll show you the trick on how to get oil pressure, and then we'll see if she starts. I did fit a new new lock on the oil pressure sensor, so yeah, we're close to it. Yeah, let's go. Oil level is good, filters are on, everything is in place. Even the oil pressure is connected and working now. So yeah, let's see first if we've got oil pressure, and then if she starts. Okay, she's gonna start, but I don't see oil pressure yet. Yeah, if this happens, I've got a trick. If you've opened the motor like I've done, and you getting to start and your oil light doesn't want to go off, there's a simple little trick, and I think I'm quickly gonna show you, just to make sure we've got oil pressure. No struggling or suckling or anything, because this bike already wants to start. Okay, let me get the stuff and I'll show you just now. Okay, I'm quickly going to tell you what's going to happen now. Because the oil light doesn't go off when the bike wants to start, it means there's an airlock or something in the sump going on, preventing it from picking up the oil. So yeah, easiest way to fix that, it's kind of like a hack. You just take a normal air hose hooked onto my compressor, piece of pipe, and connect it to the breather. All right, so you see that's connected over there. I can switch the bike on. You will see the oil lights on. Supposed to, if we swing it, you will see this is gonna force air into the sump which will give it like some compression, like cars that are smoking, and that forces the oil into the oil strainer, oil pickup into the motor. That's the easiest way to explain it. So yeah, I'm forcing the motor to get oil, or forcing the oil pump to get oil. And yeah, that's just the easiest way to get oil pressure. Otherwise, sometimes you start the bike and you sit there for a minute or two and the oil light doesn't go off. It's because there's an airlock. Normally I do it this way just to prevent it from running too long without oil. Okay, so I'm going to swing it and I'm going to give it air and check the oil light. And there you see it. You saw it die now. It doesn't take much. You heard when I pulled it off. So just that amount of air. Now you see the oil light will come on again, because obviously now once we swing the bike, it's supposed to go dead on its own now because there's oil pressure. Okay, maybe I didn't do it long enough. Let's just give it air again. And as I say, if you do it the first time and it doesn't give you oil pressure, just do it again. Okay, we can't start the bike like that, but okay. And that's a first start also. Okay, let me just get this line off. Now you can see there's oil pressure. Sounds like we've got a dead block. Let's just check that fuel pressure, just above 3 bar. Yeah, all right. Let me just switch her off. I'll check a couple of things. Sounds like we've got a dead block. And then we'll start her again and I'll show you everything. But yeah, that's actually the first start. Oh my soul. Already a bit of oil. Okay, let me check a couple of things and we'll start her again. Just hold on. Alright, we just quickly checked all the fluids and stuff. Added some antifreeze into the burp tank. Checked the plugs. The problem was in the plugs. If you know these bikes, it's easy to swap number 1 and 2 around. The coil packs were marked, but the plugs weren't marked. So I actually put number 1 in number 2 and number 2 in number 1. That's why she was only running on 2 cylinders. And yeah, they say these bikes take 3.1 liters of oil. It's closer to 4.5 maybe. Okay, so everything is done now. We can start her one more time and she should be happiness and sound a lot better. I did adjust the power commander. I'll show you that quickly. So the way you adjust the power commander is you need to hold in all 3 buttons while you switch the bike on. And with this one you have to start the bike. So you see there is it on the low setting. Okay, never mind, it didn't go into the bike. Yeah. It's running. Sounds a lot better with all the cylinders running. There's no boost going in, so there's no chance of me doing anything wrong at the moment. We have to set the fuel pressure higher On the turbo, the clamp wasn't tightened enough, so I tightened it a bit more. You will see there's no more oil leaking. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, you go into the settings, you go to the low one, take it all the way down, and mid and high you can put higher. It's just so when the bike idles, because the fuel pressure is higher, nothing happens. So yeah, you will see she's starting to smoke, burning off all the residual oil and stuff. And yeah, there you can see we've got August winds in April. What the hell? Let her get a bit of heat. I will be shining because we don't have the air temp in, and yeah, stuff like that. I think it's only the air temp. If we put the air sensor in, the FI should die. And yeah, let me not talk about it. Let me get the sensor quickly. Air temp. Off, switch her back on. Oh my soul, hold on. Ah. So what's happening now is the air temperature sensor is enriching the fuel at the moment because it can't see what the temperature really is. So that's why it's sounding like that, but you can see the FI is off. So yeah, let me just switch her off before she kills the plugs. I will lower the fuel pressure to make sure she can idle and all that groceries fine till we get it to the dyno. Then we'll up the fuel pressure again. As I said, it's easy. You just adjust that top nut over there and it goes up or down. Yeah, folks. She's alive. So yeah, you watch till now? Comment down below. She's alive. And again, you know how it goes. I'd like to thank each and every one of you watching till this time. And like, comment, share, do all that like groceries. By the next video, or I think the next video, we will probably be at the dyno, hopefully. Otherwise, I don't know. Let's see. Let's just see. So yeah, thank you all for watching. May the Lord bless each and every one of you. And well, see you again next Tuesday. All right. Bye.